The OKC Thunder have just made another sneaky good signing, holding yet another piece in its place this offseason. An offensive threat was just signed to another two-way deal. We're talking about how Branden Carlson inking a deal with the defending champs to stay between the professional NBA team OKC Thunder as well as the G League team OKC Blue will make a significant difference this offseason, as this was a guy who was on a 2-year deal previously, appeared in 32 games last year, and made a big lasting impact in his last game. Before we get into all of that, though, just want to say Gabriel Ebersole here with Thunder Digest. We just hit our goal of 6,000 subscribers, and we're trying to hit 7K as fast as possible. 68% of you guys watching are not subscribed because the Thunder have won 68 games. They won the title last year, but before they gear up to try to go back to back, we're keeping you guys posted and up to date with all things Thunder basketball, talking free agency, signings, draft stuff, trade rumors, G League, Summer League, all of the above. OKC coming up into the next year. Me and Bryson got you guys covered all in one spot. Without any further ado, let's get into this guy right here, Branden Carlson, who re-signed today with the Oklahoma City Thunder on a two-way deal. Just like he was on last year, this guy made under $500,000 to make a pretty significant impact for that amount of cash on the professional Thunder team on this two-way deal. He appeared in 32 games for the professional team, and he showed flashes. And we're going to start from the top right with this guy because in his last game, we see this guy on April 13th, he posted 26 points using his opportunity to shoot 10 for 19 from the field, hit two threes, go to the line, and hit all four of his attempts from there, get a double double at that. This guy had 10 rebounds at there. He had three blocks, making his defensive presence known, and two assists, making a few plays as well in 38 minutes during a win over the Pelicans on April 13th. So, yes, this was the last game that Branden Carlson played in the NBA level, and he left his mark with a 26-point double double. This guy showed his defensive prowess as well with the blocks that we saw. This guy shows that he had the tools to be a big at the level, and he's an offensive threat throughout his career. We saw this because this was a guy, if we keep taking a look back, tracking through this year, he appeared in 32 games for Thunder, and across those games, he played 7.7 minutes, and he shot the ball at a fairly efficient level for a guy coming in. He shot 44% from the field, and he showed good touch from the line, shooting 78%, and he dropped to about 4 points a game in 7 minutes. Guy also chips it on the glass, something we're going to see as we go across the career. This guy had about two rebounds per game and a defensive presence as well, averaging about a stock over these games. For a guy on a two-way contract making less than half a million a year, this is a good deal, and to bring him back on this is a solid move for the Thunder. Because as we saw earlier in the day, Shams tweeted this afternoon in this evening the Oklahoma City Thunder are re-signing seven-footer Branden Carlson to a new two-way NBA contract. Ross Area of Priority Sports tells ESPN. Carlson played 32 games for the Thunder last season and had a standout campaign for the OKC Blue. Now, as you saw at the end of their standout campaign for the OKC Blue, taking a look specifically at the stats and the numbers that he was putting up, and we're going to be talking about here. Talking about a guy who in the OKC Blue played 7 games and got big minutes here. He played 30 minutes a game, and he showed his initiative on offense, and he took 13 field goals a game and shot the ball efficiently at that 49%, just on that 50% clip. And he was very, very adamant about attacking from deep. Over half of his field goal attempts were from the three-point line, and he shot 33%, which is a little bit low, but this guy was attacking and shooting from deep, and he was a big scorer for these games. This guy scored 18 and a half points per game. Not to mention, he was, once again, like we saw in his final contest, this guy was multi-dimensional. He averaged just short of a double-double. This was a guy who was averaging, as we saw here, 9 rebounds per game in these contests. He also showed touch once again from the free throw line, making all of his free throws across these 7 games. This guy shot 100% from the line. A decent, competent playmaker. He's averaging 3 assists, and then we see again a defensive presence. He's averaging 3 blocks across these contests. So this is a guy who's playing multi-dimensional at the G League level, showing across these games that he is above the G League status. A guy who's on a two-way deal, but mostly played his games in the NBA last year. To be able to retain him on a two-way deal, this is a sneaky good signing for the Oklahoma City Thunder coming into the next season. When you take a look at what he's been able to do, this was a guy who was 26 last year, coming into the campaign, and he is set to have a good year because when you look at what he has experience coming into this year. This guy's played 5 years in the college game, and he shows that progression, shows getting better every single time he steps in the court. First thing you notice when you take a look at these numbers across these 5 seasons, gets better in scoring average every single time, gets more playing time every single year, racks up experience, and he puts it to use, scoring the basketball more. The rebounds go up every single year, except for a little bit of dip the last season. And this guy is a better playmaker every single year when you take a look at the numbers. This guy continues to grow his game. He was always an efficient scorer. He's shooting right around that 50% mark or above every single season. As even as he becomes a volume scorer, this guy stays efficient. He shoots the three ball well, especially the last 3 years of his career. He's shooting the ball well from the free throw line. He's shooting well, and he's improving in all these categories. So this is a guy who, as he's racking up experience in all these areas, in the different levels of the game, he's showing one that he's an offensive threat, an efficient scorer, and all in and across all these levels. He can impact the game in multiple levels on the glass, and as a defensive force, he's able to impact the game. This is a guy who is showing signs in development across multi levels of the game. And he's going to just increase these areas as we get him on the cheap two-way deal. And a guy who contributed once again in 32 contests last year as we won the championship. This is a guy who bringing him back for just around $500,000 is a great deal. And this guy has a chance to make a great impact on this team again this year. I want to know how many games you think this guy will appear in next season. I'm saying that he's going to appear in about half of our games this year because we saw in the games that he played in the C League, he dominated these games. He's showing he's above that level, and with bringing in Thomas Sorber as a big, he kind of contrasts the lack of shooting from Sorber as a guy who can shoot from deep a little bit more, and a guy who can maybe impact that second, third unit, play those spot minutes. And like we saw, he played in about 8 minutes per game across those contests. So he's playing in a good few spotty minutes last year, and he played well in those spots enough to think he's probably going to get more of those this year. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Gabriel Ebersole with Thunder Digest. I'll catch you guys in the next one.